Welcome to the Accelerated Investor Podcast with Josh Cantwell. If you love entrepreneurship and investing in real estate, then you are in the right place. Josh is the CEO of Freeland Ventures Real Estate Private Equity and has personally invested in well over 500 properties all across the country. He's also made hundreds of private lender loans and owns over 1,000 units of apartments. Josh is an expert at raising private money for deals, and he prides himself on never having had a boss in his entire adult life. Josh and his team also mentor investors and entrepreneurs from all over the world. He doesn't dream about doing deals. He actually does them, and so do his listeners and students. Now sit back, listen, learn, and accelerate your business, your life, and your investing with the Accelerated Investor Podcast.
So hey, welcome back to Accelerated Investor. I hope you're really enjoying this 10-part series on how to get all the capital you need for all the deals you want in our discussion around private investors. Right now, we are in a sort of a little mini-series within this larger 10-part series. And we're talking specifically about the 5 steps to getting all the capital you need for all the deals you want. And there was episode number 5, part 1, was to craft an irresistible offer. So if you missed it, go back and listen to that. Part number 6, step number 2 was to identify your ideal investor and your avatar. Okay, now this is episode number 7 and part number 3, which is to identify where your ideal investor can be found. Right, so let's go back. In the previous episode, I talked about my 3 avatars. My one avatar is current, active, and passive real estate investors, ages 50 to 75, who are accredited, who have at least 5 years of experience investing in real estate. My other avatar is the corporate lifer who's got a big retirement account, again, ages 50 to 75, who has a lot of money in their retirement accounts and is looking for principal preservation. And then my third avatar was e-com business owners. They could be young, they could be old, but they're selling physical products and they have a windfall of cash or they have a lot of net free cash flow. So in this episode, it's pretty straightforward, but is to specifically write down and identify where these ideal investors can be found. Okay? Where can these investors be found? Where can you identify and say, okay, where do real estate investors hang out? Well, right now, there's all kind of meetup groups. There's landlord associations. There's real estate investor associations. Even in my market, there's like 10 or 12 or 15 home investors, franchisees. They have an event that they host called Deal Makers. There's another group called Local Real Estate, which is a combination of wholesalers and realtors, and they have a monthly meetup. So there's all these different groups and places that I can go to meet them, okay? So again, if I'm looking for active and passive real estate investors, I'm gonna go to all those. I'm gonna look for all the meetup groups. I'm gonna find out what all those different associations are, maybe even sponsor those. Go there, get a speaking spot, and talk a little bit more about my real estate investing. The second avatar that I identify was the corporate lifer. Okay, now these are more of your average people who do your, fun, typical, average Americana things. They go to yacht clubs, they go to golf country clubs, they play chess, they go to their homeowners association, they attend the Rotary. And, I find that people that have done very well, that are accredited, that are rich, that are wealthy, or have just, done well for themselves, they like to give back. And we often find a number of our investors at charitable functions, okay? So my second avatar is that 50 to 75-year-old corporate lifer who's got a big retirement account. These are some of the places that I can find them if I just go and network with them. So I'm very strategic about where I want to go, who I want to meet with, and who I want to find. So you could be a member of the yacht club. You can be a member of the local country club. You can maybe volunteer at the Rotary, volunteer at your Kiwanis. You can volunteer or be a member of your Chamber of Commerce, right? You can volunteer at different charitable functions that happen in your city. If you're part of the parade, if there's a Memorial Day parade, a Labor Day parade, don't just take part in it. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Become a volunteer. Because I find the people that have done really well, they all want to give back. When they're of retirement age, they're filling up their day with fun things to do. They are giving back. And they also want to have fun, right? So they're doing things like the yacht club. They own a boat. They're doing things like golf. They're doing things like that. And, so spend your time, get a little bit more strategic. Where can you find these people? And everything I just mentioned are obviously places that I go to meet people. My third avatar was, again, e-commerce business owners, guys and girls that sell physical products from their website or on Amazon or Shopify and sites like that. And so where can I go to meet them? Well, there's all kinds of events that take place all over the country for e-commerce business owners, people selling physical products. Again, I mentioned my friend Ryan Moran, who owns capitalism.com. I go to his event. I speak there. We talk there. I network there. I love it. It's a lot of fun, amazing audience. It's just one example. So if you're thinking about, hey, how do I do more deals? How do I buy more apartments? How do I do more flips? And I need more private money. Well, again, step number 1 is craft an irresistible offer. Step number 2 is identify your avatar. Step number 3 we're talking about right now is identify where you can go to make more relationships. Okay, because we're going to talk in part number 10, we're going to talk about the different SEC regulations, right? Called Reg D, Reg A+, 506B, 506C, stuff like that, crowdfunding platforms. But I don't care who you are. I don't care, if you're raising money for your first rehab flip or you're raising money to buy your, 1,000 units of apartments, your $100 million portfolio. I don't care. People are not going to invest with you until they know, like, and trust you. They're not going to invest with you unless they know what kind of deal they can invest in. They're not going to invest with you unless they get, very, very clear about how they're going to make their interest, how they're going to get their principal paid back, and they want to connect with somebody. People don't just throw their money at anything. They've worked really, really hard to accumulate the cash they have. And so protecting their cash is the ultimate responsibility of anybody who's borrowing or joint venturing with private investors. Okay? So when I go to these different events, I'm looking to build relationships with people, to talk to them, to meet them, talk a little bit more about their business, a little bit what I do, and then I move them off of that event and into a specific marketing funnel that once I've created that existing relationship with them, that I can now talk to them, I can meet with them, get to know them on a deeper level. And then once I have a substantial prior existing relationship, then I can make the offer. Okay? So we're going to talk next in episode number 8, step number 4. We're going to talk specifically about crafting a regular, recurring multimedia marketing campaign to the contacts that you have and the people that you have existing relationships with, to warm them up, get them to understand what you do, right? So that when they're ready to invest, when they're thinking about real estate, they think of you. So join me for that next episode coming up very, very soon.
You've been listening to Josh Cantwell and the Accelerated Investor Podcast. Leave a comment on our iTunes channel and let us know what you want to learn next or who you'd like Josh to interview. While you're there, give us a 5-star rating and make sure to subscribe so you can be the first to hear new episodes. Follow Josh Cantwell and his companies, Strategic Real Estate Coach and Freeland Ventures, on all social media platforms now, and stay up to date on new training and investment opportunities to start your journey toward the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Apply for coaching at joshcantwellcoaching.com.